Oh my gosh. Happy December. So it is Vlogmas for my YouTubers. And if you don't know what Vlogmas is, it's just uh, basically 25 days of Christmas where you vlog every day about your life, what's going on, you know. And what you hear is me sitting here taking my vitamins. And no, I do not swallow pills. So yes, I am taking chewable vitamins. And I'm looking at the clock and it's 11:05 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, which means I'm taking my vitamins at the end of the day, but I'm going to take them because I just thought about it. And I try to not forget because my vitamin D I need for my iron, to help with my iron. And I am taking a prenatal vitamin, which is almost gone because it has extra stuff in it, including extra calcium and folate. And so I'm taking all the chewy gummy vitamins. That's my husband, who's actually sleeping. But I was going to say, is it too late to take vitamins at 11 o'clock at night for the day? If it is, oh well, I took them. So there, I did it. I'm a rebel. So I thought about doing Vlogmas. And then I thought about it again and decided not to. And now I'm thinking about it again. But it's already December 2nd, technically. I didn't put a video up for Vlogmas. I actually have one. And I'm actually going to load it right after this. It's not technically a Vlogmas video. It's a cooking with me video. But I'm going to load it because I have it. And it was meant to go up today. And I'll be back. So I have some things to do tomorrow. So I'll probably record tomorrow, which is when you'll see this cut of the video. Because my other video that I'm going to upload, the cooking with me video, is already done, edited. I've actually had it ready way before today, but it was for today, but I did it already ahead of time, which yay me. So anyways, I just want to check in with you guys. I'm trying to do more videos because this is Life with Shayla TV. If you're not following me on Instagram, I am Shayla Smart on Instagram. That's my handle. I am Shayla Smart. Follow me over there. I post in my stories quite often. And I have a lot of stuff going on, a lot of stuff coming up. I have this little sliver of German chocolate cake left. And it's a whole bunch of icing that I took off. But the cake itself, I want to eat it, even though it's 11 o'clock at night. And I'm going to do that because I need to get my life together this week with my health and get back to drinking my ISOT. And it really does help cleanse you out. And it helps with weight loss. I haven't been on the scale in like a week, maybe 2 weeks. But I'll get back on drinking my tea regularly. And I have my planner sitting here that I need to work on tonight. I have some client calls this week. This month is actually my last month of doing business regularly. And I'm switching to a very small amount of clients, like private clients. And I am also, and this is so new and fresh to me, I'm still chewing the vitamin. I'm also moving to putting out some new digital products. I have some ideas for some new books, fiction books. I'm excited about that. Also working on another something. And that's all for the coming months. But I am planning to go back to school. One thing that has been consistent with me, no matter what changes in my life, even with this do-over in my life that I asked God for, one thing that has remained consistent, I literally clicked the camera off. One thing that has remained consistent is my desire to go to school and finish school. Now, if you just saw why we decided to unschool our children video, then you know I am not a fan of traditional public school as it pertains to my children. I don't think school is bad necessarily, but I think there's a lot of flaws. So the opposite of bad is not good in this case. However, there are certain goals that I want to attain in life, and they require a degree. And so if my children do decide to go to college, we have understanding that there are certain things you're gonna have to go to college for, because you do need the specialty training, as if like an accountant, a doctor, a physician assistant, which is a PA, a NP, which is a nurse practitioner, a nurse, even trade things like a CNA or a massage therapist, or I don't know, there's just different things, right? So I'm not opposed to school and education. I actually have a goal of getting a PhD one day. But let me be clear, I am knocking on 40. I just turned 38. I'll be 40 in 2 years, because I just turned 48 last month. And that's a reality. And not that, oh, you're turning 40, that means anything negative or means anything at all. But for me, there's just certain goals and things that I would like to attain before I get to that 40 stage. And so in order for me to reach those things, I got to get on it. And I have really been slacking. And it's just the truth. I have not been doing all that I can do. And a lot of it has been self-imposed fear. My husband is snoring. Self-imposed fear. And I am not a fearful person. This is the most fear I felt in my life, as it pertains to me doing something with myself. So I'm very surprised at how fear can consume you and take over. But I know the only thing, and I've always said this to clients and in business, the only thing in life, everyday life, business, or whatever, that can move you from fear is doing action. That's it. You have to take action. So there's a lot of things that are about to change. My husband and I had this big conversation over the weekend just on goals we have for family, legacy. I'm going to get something done to my skin. Yeah, so we've had this big conversation about just things that we desire, that we want to have happen in life and for our children, and even having conversations with my kids about just having goals for themselves as we all get older. And I just have to start putting some things into actual practice. And like I said, I have my planner here, which by the way, comment below if you want to win this planner. It's the reminder binder. And as you see, I was planning to do Vlogmas, which is uploading every day for 25 days, like 25 days of Christmas. But I don't know, like I said, if that's going to happen. I didn't really plan it out. Nothing really stopping me from doing it. But a lot of times I think, oh gosh, I'm so boring. I don't have a lot going on. And I have a lot of stuff going on, but I don't have a lot of stuff going on that I think would be interesting to people. But anyways, I promised once we hit 100 subscribers, I was going to do a giveaway. So this is your giveaway alert. And this is what I'm giving away. This is the Denise Albright reminder binder. And it's a planner. So it has stickers. It has this nice ruler. It has a few pages of stickers. And it also has the calendar, places that you can write reminders. You can actually write on each of the dates. It has the actual calendar itself. You see, this is a past month that I've used. You put your stickers and all of that stuff. And let me know down below through your comments is how I'm going to choose. You just need to be subscribed and subscribed to my channel and click the notification bell and have your notifications on for my videos, and be a subscriber of my channel, as well as leave a comment to be entered to win. And I'm going to leave it open for 7 days from the time that you see this video. 7 days from the day that it goes up will be the giveaway. After that 7-day period, the giveaway will be over. So if you're seeing this video after that, it's only open for 7 days. So this video will go up likely on Wednesday, December 4th. But whenever, I'll post about the giveaway on my Instagram as well. But I'm going to give away this reminder binder. I will have it shipped to you. This one is mine, but I'm actually going to buy one for you and give it away to you. And you can find these on Amazon if you happen to want to check it out. It's an 18-month reminder binder. It goes from January 2019 to June 2020. But because of the new year, I'm sure they have the new ones available. So you will get a brand new 2020 planner, because I'm sure they have the January 2020s available. Yeah, so I'm going to send this to one blessed subscriber. So again, rules are you must be subscribed to Life with Shayla TV, this channel that you're watching this video on, as well on my YouTube channel, as well as click the notification bell so you get notifications of when I upload a new video, and you need to leave a comment, and then I will announce the winner 7 days after I post this video. So there you are. I promised I would do that once we hit 100 subscribers, and we did actually hit 100 subscribers a little bit ago, but I was off on my uploading and I was busy on my business channel uploading. So now I'm back here to share more of my life with you. Now, if you don't know what to comment, or you're like, hey, I want to be entered to win, comment whatever you want to, but I would love for you guys to also tell me what type of videos would you like to see. What would you like me to share? I'm not a cook, which you probably by now have seen the cooking with me video, but when I do it, I like to share because I'm really about getting things done, and so I try to do things as simplistic as possible, and 30-minute meals is my jam. That's my thing. I have some other things coming up that I'm about to do in life. Again, now that I am completely doing digital business, and I have just limited private clients after this month, my last month doing full-time coaching and consulting. So I'm also switching to digital business because, again, I am planning to go back to school. I'm registered for class, and I will be starting school in January. And I really want to be able to focus and concentrate. And also I have some other stuff that's coming up that's going to take up some of my time, which I will share with you in another video. But let me know, what would you like to see on this channel? I would love to start sharing just how I am doing some of my financial stuff, saving, getting out of debt. I have student loan debt, of course. Gosh, why? I also have a car that I would love to pay off because we have something happening next year, 2020. And I would like to have my car paid off, or very, very close to being paid off. And I haven't even had it a year. So yeah, I owe all the monies on it. And so if you guys would like to watch that journey of me sharing my budget and what I'm doing and how I'm returning back to school, I'm almost 40 years old. And I think that's a big deal, that I'm getting these epiphanies to do certain things. And then I get off track for whatever reason. I feel like I'm supposed to be in another space, and I'm just really trying to be more forward on listening and really clearly hearing the voice of God, which is why last week I spent a couple days on a fast, and it was actually supposed to go for 7 days, and I got thrown off. Of course I did. But I will be back on it because I believe fasting is the breaking point for those things that we cannot break, those things that we're trying to get clarity on. If you just like, I can't hear from God, or everything in my life that could go wrong is going wrong. When it rains, it pours, that whole, thing. And be careful what you say, because it becomes true. But that whole thing, I truly believe that fasting is the answer. We know in Matthew, I believe it's Matthew, when the disciples were talking to Jesus, it's like, why can't we cast out this demon, this spirit? He's like, because some things only come from fasting and from prayer and fasting. Like, fasting is the key, right? You're praying, you're, begging, almost, if not begging God to make a change. You're like, Jesus, please, the blood of Jesus, do something to change my situation. And it ain't happening. And you're just like, I don't understand why. You probably want to go ahead and get on a fast. And it's not magic. We don't believe in magic, of course. It's not magic. It's not a genie in a bottle type of situation. But your consecration, your concentration, and your dedication to the God who holds the key to everything in your life that you could possibly ever need, want, or ask for, and he gives it to us abundantly, whatever we ask, has the answers. But a lot of times we're trying to fix a flat, like we're trying to do it ourselves, the quick patch way, right? If you get a flat tire, and it's this thing called fix a flat, you little patch up your little hole in your tire until you can get a tire change, or just for a quick repair. Yeah, we're trying to fix a flat. We're trying to fix it ourselves, and we be taking on burdens that are not our burdens. We be taking on challenges and jobs and tasks and roles, and we be doing stuff that God ain't told us to do. And he just be sitting probably like, here we go again. There she go trying to fix it. There she go trying to figure it out. There she go doing it her way, not listening to me. And so I'm just like really wanting to be in, because I don't want to keep repeating the same cycle, right? If you feel like you're repeating the same cycle in life, you're going around and around and around and around in a circle, and like you get straight, and then in a couple weeks or a month or whatever, a couple months, it's like all hell done broke loose again in your life over about the same thing or around the same circumstances, same people, same situations. It probably really didn't get fixed the first time. It was just a fix-a-flat, right? And so really being in tune with God and understanding what he has called me to do, what it is I'm supposed to be doing in life. And I was laughing to myself, like a chuckle, not a ha ha ha, but a chuckle, because it was more embarrassing than anything. I'm like, here I am doing the same cycle of what I was doing at the beginning of the year again, when I could have just stuck with it. And I really recognized, again, fasting helped me get much clarity just this past week of what really was the enemy and the problem in the situation. I didn't handle the problem. I fix-a-flatted it. And my way of fix-a-flatting is everything. I just quit everything. Like, I'm done with it all. I don't want anything that is happening while I'm in a place of strife or feeling down or run over or depressed or sad or whatever. And because I told you guys I had this episode in May of just feeling like, okay, it's the anniversary of my son's death, and it was just a whole bunch of other stuff that I was doing and goals I wanted to reach, and all of those weren't coming together on top of now grieving. And you know, your body just feels that grief, like it's a big loss. And so, I just quit everything. I just like, everything has to go because nothing was working. Now, months later, hindsight, I'm looking back like everything wasn't a problem. It was one specific thing, one specific part of my life that was really bad. I was in a bad situation, and all I had to do was get out of that situation and regroup. But I didn't. I got out of that situation. I went on with doing the rest of the things, all the things. And so I never really fixed the problem. And so now here I am going back to all the things that I quit because I sincerely thought all those things were the problem. All those things were not the problem. It was just life was so bad at that moment. Like, I was emotionally drained because of a particular situation. And then, of course, of grieving. Like, you can't control how grief hits, right? When it hits, how long it lasts. But that on top of the bad situation I was in, and the bad situation was the job that I was working at the time. It wasn't because I was working a job. It was the job. The actual environment that I was in was toxic. And it was later confirmed that it was toxic when I finally moved away from it, from somebody who was in upper management that had worked there before. And, she's like, yeah, if you stay there, you're liable to lose your license. By the way, I'm CNA by trade, and I actually have to go take my CNA certification test. So that's something else that I'm doing in January, and I'm kind of nerve-scotted, excited, and nervous all at the same time. Because I've taken this test before. I've been a CNA certified by the state before, but I let my license go because I wasn't using it. I let it lapse. I didn't pay the little $25. So I was like, I'm not gonna be a CNA no more. Who needs that? Here I am starting over. So I took the class. It was like $880, I think it was, to take the class. I took it at the beginning of the year, did a little 6 weeks, 8 weeks or whatever. And I started working. Many of you know I had went back to work. I was going to school for nursing with hopes of transferring and becoming becoming a national park. No, becoming an NP, a nurse practitioner. Not national park, a nurse practitioner, or a PA, a physician assistant. And so when I had this bad job experience on top of everything else that was happening, and mind you, this was off of me having a very good first of the year. Like, my year started off bomb.com. And then I went back to school. That was great. And I passed all the school tests and everything because the class, like, I've done the work before. I've been a CNA. It's not super hard. It was familiar to me, and I was rearing to go. I had a job while I was in the program. Most people were trying to get jobs after they graduated. Like, I didn't have that problem. I just was getting certified because I needed to, because you have so many days to work and get certified. So anyway, I never took my test because I quit the job that I was working. I was like, well, I'm not going to be doing that no more. But now I have a desire to go back to school. And I need certain experience to pursue certain degrees, depending on what I end up doing. And so that means I will have to go back to work to get the experience. And I need like between a year and 2 years of work experience. So that's a whole thing, another video. But I'm just saying all of that to say, had I just stayed the course and been able to hear God clearly when things were bad, and I've been able to have a communication of not even talking to him, because he listens, he hears us, but I was so busy trying to do it on my own. I was trying to be God for myself and rush him to give me the answers that I needed. And instead of me taking a breath and just taking a moment to say, okay, everything in life is not the problem. It's one particular situation. And I knew that situation was a problem, but it just made everything else seem like it was a problem too. And it wasn't. And so that rippled into some other stuff. Here today, I find myself in a situation that I don't really want to be in, but I'm here. And so what can I do? I can complain and sulk and blame people, blame God, say how stupid I was for making rash decisions, yada, 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 yada. And I hope by me sharing my life mistakes, I don't do this because it's fun to admit to strangers. I mean, I know some of y'all, hey family, hey people that watch me and love me, and comment and are subscribed, but to strangers, like people who may see this video for the first time, like, who is this chick? She's crazy. I'm a little touched. That's probably true. However, just knowing that, you know I'm not alone in going through the changes and emotions in life, right? And so hopefully, because for me, hearing somebody else say, oh, I just feel like I'm upside down in the world. I done went from going to school, getting a job, going to school to get a certification, getting a job, getting more certifications, which I did, because then I became a certified med tech, which means I can pass medication in places that have med techs. And then on top of my CNA certification or CNA course, I'm still going to take the test to get certified. But then I went to work and I was a great employee. And being an entrepreneur and going back to work is a thing. Like, it's an emotional thing, for real, because you're used to being in charge and doing things your way. And it's not even just the being in charge. It's you see something's wrong. And as a leader, as an entrepreneur, you want to fix it. But you can't really fix stuff that ain't yours to fix, right? I am an employee. I'm there to do a job, caring and taking care of people. And even sometimes those systems are not what I believe they should be, or they could definitely be better. And if any CNAs out there, if you ever worked in healthcare of any sort, you know that there's always the corporate way of doing things, or the system way, or the state or the government has these laws and rules. And sometimes they make no doggone sense whatsoever. But because they are the rules of the company, of upper management, of corporate, of the government, of the state that you live in, say you have to do things a certain way according to your license, whether you're a nurse or a doctor or whatever, even when you're like, well, this would be a better course, you have to follow the rules and the guidelines. And so sometimes that can be hard when you see that it's not helping the situation. And so I was seeing and feeling all of that. But now I have a different mindset going forward. I have goals that I'm trying to reach. And so me getting caught up on what is not working, especially if I can't fix it. Now, if I can fix it or add to the value of a thing, then great. But if I can't change it, or policies aren't going to change just because I don't think they should be that way, I really need to step back and leave it alone and not put more burden on myself than I need to, simply because I don't like the way something is, right? I'm there to do a job, and my job is first and foremost to care for people, help them with their daily needs, keep them safe, and then to keep myself safe. So next time I go into this situation, I will keep that in mind and not get so overwhelmed and worked up over politics. Office politics is what it's called. But I couldn't think like that when I was in this situation earlier in the year, which led me to just be like, forget it. I quit. I quit school. I quit my job. I'm not going to get no certification. I'm just going to do business. And then I rolled back into business, and business is fine. But I understand that there's a different type of business I want to do. And right now I'm really good. And what has been really selling for me outside of my private clients is my digital products. I wake up to digital product sales that I don't even promote. Let's be clear. I haven't even been promoting my digital products. People are finding links on my other YouTube channel and buying my digital products. And so I want to upgrade and add some more digital trainings so I don't have to be, take my time to be available. And I'm a very good teacher, and I have a online digital school. So it just makes sense that I have digital pre-recorded products, trainings, lessons, webinars, tutorials, how-to videos, and all of that stuff, which I have, and put that out there in a way that allows people to get the information they need to continue to build their businesses. And I can continue to grow my business. And there's a couple of things I want to add to it. Like I said, I want to write a couple fictional books. some stories that I have in my brain and some dreams and things that I've had. And then I would love to put out a merchandise line of t-shirts. I have so many ideas for so many t-shirts because I'm very big on quotes and statements and making a point by saying just enough to grab attention and to make people think. And so I really would like to do some t-shirt stuff. So let me know what you would like to see me doing behind the scenes of building a digital business. That would probably be on my other channel, but I'm really focused on this channel right now. But just my day-to-day life, if that's part of what I'm doing that day, I'd love to record it and share with you how I use my planner, how I plan. I don't know if I'm going to buy the new planner on this one because I'm looking at some other planners because I really want to, like I said, get into budgeting and getting out of some of this debt. Well, I want to get out of all my debt, let me be clear. But there's some focal points that I need to work on, saving being one of them. And so if you like to see how that transpires in my life, I would love to show you guys my monthly income and debt journey, and whatever else you guys want to know. So that's it. I rambled enough. This is a whole video by itself, but I got to double check on my school registration and make sure that I'm all set up with my payment because I do have to pay for school out of pocket. I have no more financial aid. That's a whole nother video. No financial aid. So yeah, I've been paying for school out of pocket when I went earlier this year, which is another reason I was so quick to be like, okay, wait, everything in my life is falling apart and going wrong. There's no way I'm about to keep paying for school. And I can't even focus on school. And I really did work really hard in the one class that I had. And that teacher made it. That professor was extremely difficult for no reason. I've taken that class before. But if you know anything about nursing or physician assistant school, it depends. But especially nursing school, because I don't really know which direction I will fall in. I have my desires. But to be safe, I need to be doing well on both for either one that I apply to, right? And so I need to try to get higher grades. So if I have a C, I have a 2.7 in my developmental psych class. And I think that translates to like a B minus, I think. Or is that a high C? I don't know. But I was trying to get a higher grade, like in the 3 points. And so I took this developmental psych over, and it was completely opposite of what I took before. Like, it didn't even talk about really half the things we talked about. It just didn't make sense. And so I worked really hard. I did the work. I did the assignments. And finally, I just emailed him. I was like, I'm going to drop the class because that was about the time everything else was getting overwhelmed. And I saw that I wasn't going to get a higher grade based off of his grading system. And I had emailed him on one of my papers. And I was like, I don't understand how you graded me on this. And I think it was like a 10-point assignment. And I was expecting to get 9 out of 10 or 10 out of 10. I think I got like a 6 out of 10. And I'm not one of those students. If you grade me and I don't believe that you're doing it in error, I'm going to take it and say, okay, this is what I earned. But I just really felt that I earned better than what he gave me. And so I emailed him about it. And it was this whole back and forth. And he wasn't rude, but it was just like a back and forth of why the grade was what it was. And so going forward, I would have some papers that I was like, oh, this sucks. I did not do good on this, but I'm going to turn it in because I don't want to get a 0. And at least I did the assignment. And then I would get a 10 out of 10 on the very thing I just knew I failed. And I was like, I can't go through this. This is stressful. And I've already taken this class, and it's stupid to take a class again and get a worse grade than you did the first time when the first grade wasn't that bad. I was just trying to get it up for competitive purposes of the nursing program. So I was like, so this semester coming up in January, I'm going to be taking A&P, which is Anatomy and Physiology 1. I've already taken this class. I've never taken 2, but I don't feel confident that I can go and take part 2 because I took part 1 when we lived in Houston, which was over 10 years ago. Because my kids were really small when we moved to Houston. They were like 2, because my youngest was like 1. It was right after my grandmother passed. So my youngest was like 1.5, which made my oldest 2.5. And so I took the course then. So they probably were like 3. We lived there for like 3.5 years. So they were like 3, 4, 5 years old then. And I took the course there. And I got a C after emailing the professor, like, how did my final grade end up not being a passing grade? I need this for nursing. And she actually went and changed my grade to a C. And I was like, okay, at least I passed it and I can go on to part 2. I may can slide with a C. I just wanted to pass. I just didn't want to get an F or a D in A&P. And if you know anything about nursing programs, A&P, Anatomy and Physiology 1 and 2, and Microbiology, and now Chemistry. They're big courses. They're heavy courses, and they're very, very competitive. So anywho, I will be taking A&P 1 again, and the teacher that I have, the professor from the ratemyprofessor.com reviews, he's probably not the best professor, but it was what was available, because I just now, after getting clarity, sat down and said, what is it, Shayla? And this could be a tip for you. What is it in life right now that you are completely desiring? What is it you want? Because I truly believe in Psalms, and it talks about God giving us the desires of our hearts, delight ourselves in him. I delighted myself in him through fasting and prayer this last week, and I have not felt happier, lighter in my body, in my mind, in my soul, in my spirit than I have this last couple of days over this year. I've had some good moments, but this week, these last couple of days, I felt really good. And so I feel clear and have more clarity. I don't feel the heaviness. And so I sat and I was like, well, what is it that you really desire to do? Because God will give it to you. He will allow it to be. And I really do believe that. I live on that scripture. And so I was like, well, one thing I desire is to go back to school. Didn't know what for. Still not all the way clear which way I would go. But I definitely desire to go back to school. So next best thing to do, action. To knock fear out, because as soon as I started thinking about it, I got fearful again because of the class I took. And so I was like, okay, it's time. Let's go back to school. So I registered for class. One class is all I'm going to take this semester, and it's A&P 1, and it's a hard class in general. It doesn't matter who's teaching it. It's a difficult class. But based on the reviews, he makes it more difficult than it has to be. But I am trusting God. I am trusting my focus and my mind, and that I am a conqueror, and that anything that I desire and I want will be. It shall be. God has given me the ability. He has not given me a spirit of fear, but of sound mind. And I am going to move forward, and I'm going to take this course, and I am going to knock it out of the park. Then I will go back and take part 2. Yeah, so that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. But I will definitely be looking into the comments to see what you guys want to hear, want to see from me, what you want me to talk more about, what do you want me to share. Do you just want some vlogs? Vlogging being my day-to-day life, what I'm doing, where I'm going, where I'm shopping, whatever's going on, or just more informational things that I can share. And yeah, I'm about to be 40 years old in 2 years. And I'm really wanting to get some things accomplished. And I asked God, can I have a do-over? Can I start my life over? I kept the kids and the husband. Everything else is up for restart. And I am restarting. Shayla 3.0. Yeah, we've been skipped 2.0. We did that already. 3.0. She's here. So what are you doing? How is life going? What challenges are you having that you are ready to conquer? Not just because it's a new year for me, but it's just time, period. But because it is a new year and we're going into a new decade and a new century too, yeah. I'm just ready for new altogether. And this time staying focused and not letting sweating the small stuff and keeping the main thing the main thing. And the main thing is that I have goals that I want to reach, and there will be bumps. So you can't give up every time something doesn't go your way. And if you find yourself overwhelmed, you need to go back to your source. And the source is God, all capital. Yes, God. And I thank God for Jesus and Revelation. So here we are. And if you haven't heard my series, Sip and Serve, I have a new one coming out. It's supposed to come out on Monday, but it will probably be out on Tuesday this week. But I'm going to do that one live. The last one was audio. You can go back in the video and watch it. I'll put the link below. I'll try to remember. But check that out and let me know your thoughts on that. Would you like me to do that live or just keep doing the audio so you can listen while you travel? I did have someone tell me they were listening on their commute to work, which I thought was amazing. Shout out to my cousin Candace. And yeah, so let me know. All right, I'll talk to you guys later, very soon. Trust God and love yourself. Bye.